It's for sale. Wow, how things do change, man. I remember coming up here on motorcycle rides. And as you can see, this was once had a little single pump gas station. And we would pull in here, and of course this is covered, right? There was actually an awning right there, which is actually part of the structure of the building. So you can see some of it here. At least what's left of it. And this is a general store. And we would come in here, grab some Gatorades, grab some water, snacks, whatever. Get back on the bikes and continue down Highway 49. Yeah, and the gas pumps were right about in here. And then right along this window, there was a little wooden bench. And we'd sit out here on those hot summer Sunday afternoons and enjoy the drink, and either head north towards Mariposa, or I should say, south towards Mariposa, or north towards the Merced River Canyon, which, by the way, that's where we're headed today. Bagby, about 6 miles south, down a long, twisting, 16-degree grade, all downhill. Should be fun. The classic California water tower, adjacent to this old building, which at one time was a little Mexican restaurant. We actually ate there a few times. The food was not bad. So here we are in Bear Valley. The name that's going to be coming up here in a little bit, and you see it right here, is John C. Freemont, who had the pine tree and Joseph mines. To be continued. After a much longer than expected, shall we call it, interlude, we are here, finally, again, for Installment 7. So, welcome back to my Castaway Blues. And today, we are headed here. To what was once the little town of Bagby. And we're going to see what little bit remains. And by that I mean very little remains. But there's enough that we can probably piece this little town together. The history preceding and predating the YV, and a little bit of the YV history. So here's what remains of Bagby. If you have some old photos, you can kind of piece it together. Otherwise, we'd be pretty much out of ideas. Just another modern, lost piece of civilization. Well, that's assuming it was civilized here, which by all accounts it was. Very, very quiet. So I'm thinking the approach that comes into the parking lot was probably the old 49. By the way, it's how quiet and isolated it is up here. There's actually an Iron Ranger, so we're kind of on the honorary system. I was honorable and gave my money, so we're good. And so 49 would have continued along what is now the parking lot, and then curved, went down what is today the boat ramp. Those restrooms, by the way. And descended here. Now, today the boat ramp continues on, as you can see. But back in the day, the road would have curved to the right and then span the Merced River Bridge over to about there. And of course, again, our hotel would have been there. Okay, so we are now standing right next to where the old stamp mill would have once stood. Where this area is, when the lake's filling up, especially in the spring, and there's a whole lot of runoff from the snowmelt, a lot of sediment gets carried down here. So much of what we're trying to find today is going to be under a whole lot of sediment and silt. But we can still see the remains of Fremont's old stamp mill, which is pretty doggone cool. Some slab, concrete slab. And you can see right here, those two channels, those two cutouts. That's where the water would have run through, been channeled through, to run the water wheels, which would have powered the crankshaft, which would have moved the stamps up and down, crushing the rock, and getting out the gold. And over here, there's a pretty obvious channel cut in the rock right there. Check it out. So I'm thinking the water was somehow directed, because the dam would have been across right about here, right through here, kind of going across this angle here. And so the water would have come off one side of the dam, been brought down this channel, and then I'm thinking directed into the stamp mill. Oh, look at this notch here. Oh yeah. That's definitely man-made. Look at this, guys. Wow, look how this rock just gets polished. It's polished by all the runoff. See, here's the thing, man. Up here, there's no dam upstream. And I'm thinking we're maybe 50 miles from Yosemite National Park. So when that snow melt and rainfall come down, there's nothing impeding it, nothing is slowing it down. Which of course is why so many times, well, I won't say so many times, at least on 2 different occasions, the dam built here in Bagby for the stamp mill was washed out. So here's the thing about John C. Fremont. Some say he wasn't always the best businessman. Maybe not, who knows. But I gotta say, if he wasn't a shrewd businessman, he was definitely a shrewd opportunist, because here on apparently on some kind of a scientific expedition. He was roaming through California's Central Valley. And this is like 1845, 47, somewhere in there. Decided to lay claim to, I don't know how many thousands of acres. Not long after doing so, they discovered gold up here in California, what is now called California's gold country. So Fremont simply kind of floats his property line up to this area, claiming this area, Bagby, what would become known as Bagby, as his own. And apparently nobody was really policing the property lines back in those days, and apparently nobody challenged him. So just like that, boom, Fremont is here in Bagby, and he's a gold miner. Clever. Alright, you guys, I'm trying to find this site across the river, but that little rock right there beside, just to the left of my thumb, I'm looking for that. Can't find it. It's probably covered under a bunch of sediment like some of the other things. But knowing that this was upstream or east of the bridge, had to put it right about in here somewhere. And that, by the way, that was the original YV station, which is over in this area, a little farther east out of town than the later and more permanent station. So right about in here. Now that where this photo was taken is probably a little higher up than where I'm at, but same vantage point, more or less. So the bridge would have been right below us. Just about there. And here's what we know. We do know that that bridge was upstream or just east of the stamp mill, which is right there. And this is the approach to the bridge from the south side. Went across, continued north, and then the hotel would have been, again, there's the foundations for the hotel just to our left, which continued on to where the bridge landing was, right in this area. The saloon would have been off, saloon and store would have been off to the right. Again, the hotel here, and then we're going to go over, and that was like a little workshop or repair shop of some sort. I'll show you a photo of that in a moment. And then as you saw, maybe saw, let me get some better light on this, guys. The YV roadbed was right through here. Basically, it was right along Main Street through town. The old Highway 49 right up through here, continued up through here. Until 1966, actually, when they put the new bridge in, which, by the way, is just a little under 1,200 feet long. I only know that because I read it on the sign earlier. Alright, so this, I've been talking to you about the stamp mill and the dam, but I'm not showing you a photo of it. Again, this was the early days of the YV, 1907, some maybe a little after that. The original station, you can kind of see it off in the center of your screen there. But the lower right-hand corner of the photo, and again, I apologize, this is a very, very poor photo, but it's the only one I could find of the early days of Bagby. Lower right corner, just right there, top above my finger, that's the stamp mill that we just walked across. And you can see right there, where my thumb is, you can see, there we go. That's the water coming through the stamp mill, that's what powered it. And that water, of course, was sourced from the dam over in about the middle of your screen to the right. And then that's the old original bridge right there, which that's about where we're standing, right about here. All right, so I'm looking for this prominent rock formation right in the middle of your screen. And I think I found it. There it is. That is significant because it kind of helps us put the whole town into proper context here. So there's that prominent rock. Let me line them up here. There we are. Prominent rock. Got it. All right, I'm going to lower this down, line it up with the water line. Okay, oh wait, hold on. There we go. More like that photographer is probably a little more to the right than I am, but still. All right, we're golden. We got this. So there it is. Hotel was right beneath that little double hump mountain right there. And that makes sense because look, see the rocks below, the rock wall below, which was kind of a retaining wall. They had that filled with earth and a little lawn area, recreation area, right there. So there it is. Wow, man, there was so much there. So much there. Just kind of shows the power of water. I had a quick little sidebar here. Found this placard here at the parking area. Notice the railroad in the upper left and right corner. And this goes over John C. Freemont finding the area and setting in his stamp mills. Something I didn't mention earlier is that when Freemont first acquired the property here through his floating property line technique that we spoke of earlier, he first named it Benton Mills, which is his father-in-law, and who was I guess he was a prominent senator back east somewhere in Missouri or something like that. But then in 1897 they established a post office here, and a gentleman by the name of Benjamin A. Bagby acquired the property. He built the hotel that we've been speaking on, the store, saloon, and a boarding house, all on the north side of the river, which, again, we've been on the south side looking north, so we're going to head over there momentarily. And then, of course, the second paragraph mentions the railroad, which, again, came through here in 1907. So the YV, perhaps just by coincidence, following the easiest route to El Portal and the west gate of Yosemite National Park, just following the Merced River, it came through here. And by the way, the YV trains, whether they were headed east or west, they all took on water here. And I mention that because I'm looking across the river and did not see where the water towers were, so we have some work cut out for us. All right, moving on. Hey, check this out, you guys. All right, I just crossed the bridge. We're on the north side of the bridge, the west side of the highway, and I think I found, because it's a very obvious grade here. I think we found the original Highway 49 grade, at least what little remains of it. Yeah, I do believe this is it. And then, of course, the new 49 up above us. All right, I do want to pause and show you this. So we're downstream of Bagby. We're headed west along the Merced River. Off to our right there. By the way, I don't know if those are geese or ducks, but I think I pissed somebody off. But here's what I want to show you. Well, first of all, there's a pretty significant landslide occurred here at some time. I'm trying to find the old roadbed leaving town, going downstream on the north side of the river. And this looks like this slid down over the top of what was there, if anything was there. But I'm starting to think there's so much sedimentation here, man. I don't know that we're going to see it at all. But right down here where the river bends to the left would have been where the old Bagby Bridge came across, or Bridge 47. So we're going to move down there a little bit closer, see what it looks like, but I'm thinking this is not looking good. But again, I've thought that before and was wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong again. Let's move on. Assuming I don't get chased out by these guys. All right, that's comforting to know that at least I shouldn't get shot. Now, as long as there's not a bull down there with all those cows, we might make it out of here relatively intact. Oh yeah, I got some observers here. That's curious. So the automobile bridge was actually, looks like it had a corrugated tunnel. Isn't that something? All right. I don't know why that should surprise me, but it does. Because now when I look at this, I thought that was the bridge, automobile bridge. Obviously this is it. Headed right back into town. And then of course here's the YV bridge. Look at that, man. Look at that, guys. That is cool. Look at that. Keeping an eye on these girls there. They seem pretty much indifferent to me as long as I don't interfere with their late afternoon snack. Looks like the cows have taken care of this for us. The bovine trail, I suppose. They probably handle it a little more gracefully than I do. That wasn't so bad. Now this, I believe from the photos, this would have been the far end, the far west end or downstream side of the property for the hotel. And I just wanted to come down here just to kind of get a look at this this rock face. And you'll recognize it when we get down here. It's a very prominent point in that photo of the hotel taken from over there, looking this way, of course. But it also helps us kind of get our bearings straight as far as where the property line was. Look at this, guys. Oh yeah, look at this. Old drainage pipe. More of it right here. Look at that. And then again, right here. Seeing a lot of these, well, I won't say a lot, but here's another one, drain line, and then another one over here. I'm assuming these were, oh look, another one up there. Probably for draining, drainage on the property itself. Back in the days when it actually rained in California. Wow. Weird, weird, weird. Another one. And here's that very peculiar rock formation we talked about earlier, which would have put the bridge, pardon my finger in the screen, which would have put the bridge abutments right there. Probably covered in mud, but let's go have a look. All right, guys, there it is. Concrete footing. More concrete here. More concrete through here, here, and over here. You know, and again, this bridge, remember, this bridge would have been in existence as far back as, or as recently as 1966. Oh yeah, we're on it. We're on it. Look, there's concrete here. More down here. So this is our bridge. This is it. Now this is a really good find. And here's why. This would have been the site of the original saloon, which burned down, I think it was around 1937. And then when they rebuilt, they put a store here. So this footing would have been for the store, as well as these footings back here. Okay, I'm really going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to pull up a photo that I want to share with you of the old store after they built the second bridge. It's an awesome photo. Shows an elderly couple coming across the bridge. But hanging on the wall at the store is a water hose. And I'm looking at this here. This is a hollow tube. Is that water hose? I don't know. We'll pull it up on screen and have a look at it. Because if you look at where the bridge landed, right here, looking across, where that line is, that's about where that water hose would be. If that's where the store, I know the store was on the left of our screen. And because there's a utility pole there and a whole lot of remains of foundations, I'm thinking that's it. We'll have a look. Put my archaeologist hat on, see what we can figure out. All right, there's the old saloon before it burned down in '35, and they built the store. So check this out. You see that little notch in the valley there? Boom, there it is. How cool is that? That's where it was. And then a slightly different angle and taken quite a few years later, obviously, after the saloon burned down and they replaced it with a store. How cool is that? I wish I could find that concrete footing for the old gas pump. There's a big piece over here, but I don't think that was for a gas pump. So probably buried under all this sediment. Yeah, I don't know if that's for the gas pump or not. That looks a little bit robust for a gas pump. Probably about the size of one, but the size of the footing required, but I don't know. I doubt it. Wishful thinking. All right, I'm going at a little different angle just to keep the shadows off this photo, but I'm having trouble finding this one, you guys, where the old station is. Okay, you see that mountaintop in the back? There it is. All right, and then beyond where those people are, you see the old water tanks up on the hillside, and that cliff face, that's right there. So I think we're standing close. If not, yeah, we're probably roughly standing where the photographer was in this photo. But there's just nothing left. This big old concrete footing here, but outside of that, and a few of the old utility poles, there's not much here. And then we got this, you guys, so I'm thinking this is our station. Still no sign of where the water tanks may have been. A good little piece of information to know is that these were removed and taken to El Portal, which we will get to maybe in the next installment, but hopefully in the next installment. So we'll get a chance to see those again. But because they were removed, perhaps they did a real thorough job of just taking everything. So there's no trace. Oh, look at this. This is a step to an old building. Check this out. Oh, I love it, love it. Look at that. That's a step. Entrance to this may have been the original station. Let me pull up the map real quick and have a look. Ooh, that's not a good photo, but right in the center of your screen. If you look, that's right on the bend. That's right up in front of us where that other slab is. Right there. However, where we're standing now, it doesn't appear to be anything built there, at least when this photo was taken. Oh my goodness, what was that? And then look over here. That's an edge of a wall. Yeah, there was something going on here. Oh, I wish I knew what that was. Well, that has been here a while. Look at that. Wow. That has been here a while. All right, guys, if you look right in the center of your screen, that rock face there, that retaining wall, there's a bend right in the center of your screen where it kind of goes back towards that upper level, right there. Look at this. There's that bend right there. If you look out, and there's like a little courtyard out there. I don't know, it looks like maybe some small fruit trees, small trees of some sort. So that would be right about where we're standing right now. Right here. Which means the hotel would have been just to our left. Right out here. And then if you look where those old cars are parked beneath those trees, there's an elevated area up there. And of course, framework for the hotel, the foundation for the hotel. There you go. This is where the hotel was, right here. This is our hotel. Ah, this is so amazing. This is it, guys. This is the spot. The Bagby Hotel, built in 1900. That is amazing. That is amazing. A different time. And probably not a lot busier than it is right now. Something I read was interesting. If you were a traveler on Highway 49 and took a room for the night here at the Bagby Hotel, and it was a hot summer day, the owner would actually issue you some swim trunks or a swimsuit so you can head out and enjoy the river. Pretty cool stuff. Alright. Just above my thumb to the left side of actually center of your screen, just above my thumb. I'm not sure what that is. That looks like maybe a chicken coop or something. But you see that has a square frame or square footing on it. That I wonder, and it's down on the left side, downstream of the main hotel. Look at this. Of course, we're looking at it from a different angle, but I wonder if that's it. And the final shot. I love this. Looks like a repair shop. You can see the bumper out of the back side of the door there, or in the entrance. Taken from the general store with the gas pump on the right. And there are the remains of it. If you look, you can see right in the center of your frame there, that utility pole behind the building. And there it is, right in the center of your frame. And this would have been that roll-up door right here. Looks like a doorway off to the left with a bench in front of it. Might have been right here. In fact, you can see look at that. You can still see where the hinges were attached. How cool is that? It's like some, oh wow, wooden framework with some concrete poured around it. Wow, look at that, guys. And then there's that utility pole. I just noticed something. Look up on the hill there. There's an old water tank. I'm not going to walk up there. It's getting a little late and I got to get out of here, but old water tank. And the railroad would have gone right in front of the shop. In fact, if you look at the photos, railroad was so close to the shop that if a train was parked in town, you couldn't get your vehicle out of here. All right, and then finally, there's this one. I love this photo. Check this out. How you doing, fella? Look at that. Look at that. He would have been sitting right here. All right, we are out of daylight, so that's going to do it for installment 7. I apologize for the long break, but hey, it was a good problem to have. And hopefully you found this informative today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I did. Kind of tough getting into a few of the areas, but that's all right. Worth the effort. So, installment 8. I'm not going to commit a timeline. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But again, thanks for joining. Again, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you found it informative, and we'll be back on it again. We have at least, I gotta move, I'm gonna fall. We have at least one more installment, maybe 2, at least one more. I'll know when I get a little farther east, up into the Merced River Canyon and Bryceburg. But how is that? Isn't this cool? Neat area. But again, thank you. We will see you in the next video. And look, man, just like that, they're gone. That's pretty cool. Where do cows hide for the night? That is some bovine stealth right there. Indeed.